Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Well, today I want to do an experiment with wood ashes and the fire roll. I was wondering if hardwood ashes are more reactive because of the potassium hydroxide in it than the softwood ashes, which has much less potassium hydroxide, which is lye, what they use to make lye. Here's some northern red oak, big old branch on the ground right there. Let me go ahead and get it, and then we'll find some kind of pine. Burn them both down into ashes and try them out. All right. I got this far with my hatchet. Now for some botany. Northern red oak. Look at that heartwood. Right, I'm going to use tulip poplar bark to get that wet oak started. It's not going to impart many ashes to the mix. I'd use tulip poplar bark all the time for tinder. It's just who wants to do all this processing every time. If you make a video every day, who wants to do this much processing? That's why I use the pine needles. I have people insinuate that pine needles is all I ever use, but if they saw more of my videos, they would see that there's months at a time that all I use are leaves for tinder bundles. So let's go ahead and ferrite ignite these, and then we'll feed in the rest of this bark to get a good hot fire going. All right, I'm gonna put you on time lapse because it's gonna take a while to burn this down to ash. All right, let's go ahead and strain the ashes out. Oh yeah, that'd be plenty of ashes to work with. And I'm gonna keep them separated in different color bowls. The dark blue bowl is going to be our red oak, and this can be our pine. Oh yeah, we got plenty. We can keep the wind from blowing on it. Just your standard wood ashes. Good. So now we're ready to go. I'll get some pine somewhere and we'll continue on with this experiment later on in the day. All right, I found some loblolly pine. This is about 5 or 6 pounds. The bark doesn't really need to come off like it did on the oak. The oak was really wet and frozen. But I will go ahead and take this bark off to be consistent, and I'll go ahead and start the fire with some tulip poplar. So I'm not going to make you watch the whole processing like I did on the oak. All right, just like before, I'm going to take and process up this inner tulip poplar bark, ignite it with the ferro rod, put in these the outer bark of the tulip poplar, and then go ahead and put these dries. This is a little bit damper, and this has got a whole lot more moisture in it. We'll burn it down into ashes. All right, this is what we got. Inner tulip poplar bark. And once again, the wind is coming from here, so I'll turn it around. All right, let's see what our pine ashes look like now. Well, we didn't end up with much. Pine being a soft wood, it's not gonna make a whole lot of ash like the oak did. But you know what? It's enough. It's enough to do the experiment. And the pine ash is what I want to try first. Yeah, that's going to be enough. Let's proceed with our test. All right, cotton ball. We're going to need a half of it. First, let's just see if both of them react normally. I'll do like 15 passes and we'll see if they both sort of, you know, heat up and get as intense as each other, as the other. Like a half a teaspoon is all you need. If you don't see smoke, go back and roll it some more. I just barely see smoke. I'm going to turn it 180 degrees, try to loosen this up. I'm going to try to put it against my shirt so you can see the smoke coming off of it. Even though this is a brown shirt, there's still a lot of reflection coming off of it. So, pretty close to normal. Let's go ahead and do another one with the other half of the cotton ball and see how the hardwood ashes do, the oak. They actually feel more dense. They're a little bit darker, which really doesn't mean anything other than, you know, there might be some more char in it or burnt up or sooty type material in it than what's in the pine. Whoa. So far, the hardwood ashes were much more reactive than the pine. Look at that thing burn with intensity. Let's give the pine another chance. Let's give the pine another chance. All right, go back to the light colored bowl. Since these feel lighter and fluffier, I'm going to go ahead and put just a touch more ash in it this time. This one is definitely better than the first time we did the pine ashes, the softwood ashes. But still, it's not as intense as the hardwood ashes were. But if you could put these ashes on a scale, maybe that would make a difference. Because a pinch of these hardwood ashes are definitely heavier, more dense than these fluffy softwood ashes. So, but we still ended up with a great result. All right, so this was our second softwood ashes. Let's go for our second hardwood ashes. I've always kind of thought that hardwood ashes were better than softwood ashes down through the years, but I've never done a test like this to prove it. Let's see if 15 strokes on this ignites it as well as it did the first time we tried it. Yes, once again you can see a stark difference between the softwood ashes and the hardwood ashes. The hardwood ashes ignites immediately and burns intensely. More of the length of the fire roll is on fire too. Have you noticed that? All right. Let's go with the soft wood ashes. Let's go with the pine ashes one more time. And let's just see. Let's see who the winner is. Let's see which ash is more reactive for the fire roll. So far, easily, it's the hardwood ashes, the oak. And you can use hickory, you can use beech, any hardwood. It doesn't have to be oak. This is ignited right off like it should be, but that is not burning as intensely. What about that? I'm not going to separate these ashes. I'm going to pour the loblolly pine tree ashes and the red oak ashes right into my ash bottle. For me, there's not enough difference, but you know, if I was using my knife, it'd make a difference. If I was using my handle of the knife, I'd want the hottest, most reactive ashes that I could use when I'm rolling with my knife handle. So let's go ahead and roll this last half in the hardwood ashes, and we'll roll it with the handle here, ignite our tinder bundle, and we'll be done. Hold on, let me get some pine needles. All right, now when I roll with the handle of the knife, I like to use less cotton, so let's pull some of this off. It'll just be less work. And switch over here to our dark blue bowl for the red oak ashes. Don't want to put too many on there. All right, let's give it a try. Well, I can't see because of the shadow. Let me do it this way. If you don't see smoke, go back and roll it some more. That's when you need highly reactive ashes, when you use a knife handle like that. Now, I'm not going to try it with the weaker ashes. It's hard enough to do it with these good hardwood ashes. Let's go ahead and let that get intense. Try to loosen it a little bit so that it can spread when I get it in the tinder bundle. I think this has been a pretty conclusive test right here. These, oh, I got pine needles in there. These hardwood ashes from the red oak are much more reactive in a fire roll. Let me get my bottle and we'll just go ahead and mix the two together and just stick them in the bottle. Fire roll is easy enough to where you don't have to keep them separate unless for some reason you just want to. Let me get my bottle, hold on. All right, the ashes are up to here now. All right, y'all. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.